Oh shit, am I on? Yeah, damn, I'm on. Oh snap. So, yesterday, both of us, me and CJ, we both went out and see. I got the sun beaming behind my damn back. We both went to see Justice League last night. Not giving away too much because we're gonna end up doing like several of these. So one thing I always hate about when it comes to these comic book movies, and especially if it's a big comic book movie, is the multiple shows you're going to be doing about it. I think what was it? I think Spider-Man, we did several. I know when we do Black Panther, we're going to have like 7 of them. I think Batman vs Superman, we had a total of 4. So we always do like a whole lot of these shits, and of course they're all hot takes, and that's the thing that really gets me about this. But all this, it's not so much how the movie was, and I'll go into that right now. The movie was pretty damn good. Even with the nitpicks, and here's the thing about the nitpicks. I'm gonna say this: if you see anything that says 3 Black Geeks and it's talking about Flash's suit, that's all Chris. That's all Chris, man. All right, that's all him, because he's that dude that focuses on like, oh man, it didn't look like that, it didn't look like this or some shit, whatever. He's hung up on the way Flash acts in the movie, and I get it if everybody like, oh, that's not Flash, that's not Barry Allen or whatever like that. Cool, whatever. I don't see how that takes away anything. But here's the thing: he didn't make that take away. He didn't let that take away from his enjoyment. And this is where it comes to the whole thing about it. People are going to find shit in this movie because they will. They will find shit in this movie to bitch about. And a lot of people are really going to get exposed in my book for who the fuck they really are and who the fuck they really stand for. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to be called like, oh man, I ain't no Marvel stan, oh, I ain't no DC stan, or whatever it is. This is going to expose you because this movie is good. This movie is actually fucking good. There's not too much you can bitch about. It is not too much you can sit there and act like you're a fucking snob about. Now, I had one person say that the third act was everywhere and all the rest of that. I'm like, that's every fucking comic book movie. Every fucking comic book movie, when it gets to the third act, there's nothing but action everywhere. So that's every comic book movie, period. Same thing goes with, and they talked about, oh, well, the characters don't act like the way they are, and this, that, all the other. You know what? True. But if that's the case, say that same thing about Thor. I mean, the first time you seen Thor, when he wasn't acting like, that was this and that was that, and whether it is, like, the fact that Thor doesn't act like that now, there should be a line of motherfuckers like complaining about that shit. Don't hear a lot of that. But then again, you know what? That's how people are. Like, but this is going to expose a lot of people. It's going to expose a lot of people to who they are, what they really believe in, and when it comes to what makes a good comic book movie. And it's always subjective. But the problem about this subjectiveness is a lot of people will really make that the reason why you shouldn't go see it. They're going to make that the main reason why you shouldn't go out there. You should think like me and hate everything DC does. It's a narrative. I get it. DC better, fuck that. WB is a really easy target. It's a really easy target to go at, which is funny to me because you would think that'd be Disney, but that's neither here or there about that conversation. It's funny. It's an easy punching bag for a lot of people, and they make that their whole thing. They make that their whole thing. Like, oh, I hate it because this, that, or I don't like it because Zack Snyder is bullshit and all that. Yo, real talk. There was more slow parts technically in Thor than in this one. And the only reason why, and when I say slow, I mean that classic Zack Snyder. The only reason why they did slow in this one because the Flash was there, and of course you had to do Flash type shit. Not giving away nothing in the movie because I don't really feel like it. Apparently saying that Superman comes back is a spoiler. That's a spoiler. You know, I'm not going to tell you how he came back. The way he came back was like, you know what? Good. Thank God. Because it could have been way worse. It could have been way fucking worse the way Superman came back. I'm never going to tell you about that, because actually, it's funny to me, because while I'm not like the Superman lover, I'm fine with, you know, I'm not a big Superman fan. I like the way he came back, and I love this scene and all that. Batman, Ben Affleck, what do you want to call Batfleck, whatever you want to call him, he was good in this one. He still continued to be good. Gal Gadot, good God, I'm married. I can't talk too much about her. Then you had that's the thing about Flash. Now that goes back to Flash. Flash is fine. He's actually fine to me. As a character, he's really, really funny. You kind of root for him. I think some people feel that he's too silly. Okay, he's not Barry Allen there. He's Wally West. Does that help you? Fuck that. He's Bart Allen. Does that help you? Does that fucking help you? Which is always funny, because Barry's real name is Bartholomew Allen. Well, the point is this. Does that make it easier for you? Does that make it easier for you that he's not Barry Allen? Does it make it easier if you just call him Wally West or Barry Allen in name only? Does that make you feel better? Does it? Does it? Because what you're going to tell me is no. What you're going to tell me is no. It doesn't make it better. So anyway, what also gets me is, but yeah, he was really funny in it. Cyborg is amazingly good, because I think a lot of people were ready for Cyborg to be this horrible character, or they was going to DC the fuck out of him, which is really like, look at me, I'm a freak, the whole Frankenstein deal, and he'd be way too serious to be, I guess, the Cyborg we all like. This one came off very well. They done it very well. They did their own. This came off more comic book like Cyborg for me, but even it still came off perfectly. They did it very well, and I think I had a complaint actually about everybody hopping on the Black Panther bandwagon and nobody showing my boy Cyborg any love. Like, we do got Cyborg over here. We got Cyborg here, the biggest black character in the DC universe, going to be in a movie. I don't hear none of you motherfuckers talking about it. Hey, dude, what's the actor's name? Shut the fuck up. That ain't the point. The point is this. He's over there acting, and none of y'all respected his shit. So, there you go with that. I loved Aquaman in this. Aquaman was really, really good. There's no reason why anybody should go in this movie thinking that Momoa didn't, I want to say kill it. Kill it is not the right word I would use, but it's up there. He really did really well. He was less bro than I thought he would be. He was more Jason Momoa. It was Jason Momoa being Aquaman. That's all it really was. And yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it. Because everything else is like, no, go see the fucking movie. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. Oh, compare it to another movie. Is it better than Avengers? For me personally, Chris said it's on the same level. I say the same thing. What Avengers was for the Marvel Universe, this is for the DC Universe. That's the exact way. It's the exact same type of way. The exact same feeling you would get. If you are a DC fan, it hit all the notes for you. If you are a comic book fan, it's done very well. It's done very well. Even the way, how Steppenwolf was. Oh man, I bet it's CG bullshit. Somebody called it juvenile CG. Nigga, if you don't get your ass out here, yo, but anyway, the CG was pretty good on him. Like, it was all CG for Steppenwolf. And I know that probably threw some people off. It didn't throw me off. Because Steppenwolf is fucking Steppenwolf. Doesn't matter to me. He's a minion. What you want him to do. he's something for the Justice League to knock down. No big deal. I don't see why and see, that's the thing that I think a lot of people get hung up on. And I think somebody made this same point with one of the recent Marvel movies. It's not about the villain. And one of the big mistakes that we always do, at least especially when it comes to DC stuff, is that people focus too much on the villain. Like the villain is supposed to be bigger than the hero. You're not going to get Dark Knight again, where Heath Ledger just takes over the whole fucking movie and that's all you give a fuck about. Or to a lesser extent, Jim Carrey at all in Batman Forever. You know what I mean? That he takes over the whole thing and that's the only person you care about. and the hero comes off as uninteresting and all that. So in this case, when it comes to fucking Steppenwolf, he was a bad guy, and that's all he had to be, because it was more focused on the team coming together. It was nothing more than that. And I think people always have this idea that it has to be a perfect villain. You're not always going to get that. You're not always going to get this cult of personality type villains where they take over the whole thing. And I think that was one of the, I think you can't, like, a lot of people like complain about, this is not even bringing up the last Lex Luthor or Jesse Eisenberg. It's not even bringing him up. I think a lot of people look at the old Superman and they want that same dynamic. Not no more. You can't have that same dynamic no more when it comes to the hero or it comes to the villain. You can't have that same dynamic. And people often want that same type of setup because it's comfortable with them to come back. You can't have that. It's not going to happen. But what's going to be really interesting, like I said, is going to be the hot takes that's come from this, and the people boxing themselves off from saying this movie is good. We're going to get plenty of people that's going to be saying that this movie failed at this and all that. That's going to happen regardless. But it's going to be the obvious bullshit. It's going to be the obvious bullshit that's going to be that's going to really trip me out, because there's going to be people literally, and I can see it already, picking one thing and having that one thing be the reason why you shouldn't go see it. No, and I mean really, that's what it really comes off as. You come off as this motherfucking stand that is just going to ruin it for everybody. Going to literally ruin it for everybody, because you won't get off your fucking high horse, or you think that motherfucking Stan Lee is fucking paying you underneath the motherfucking table or some bullshit. It's not that situation. This is one of those movies, and I really mean this, and this is how I end this. This is one of those movies where if you're a comic book fan, you should be happy the way they did it, because everything they did, one of the things they did right in Batman vs. Superman is that it felt like a comic. This one, same feeling, except they didn't make that didn't, where Batman vs. Superman, that kind of really was too heavy and it kind of really dragged the movie along because of that type of format. It didn't feel that way in this. It didn't feel that way in this at all. And you had it was great. It was great that way. The pacing, all that was great. And people are gonna, if you're a comic book fan, you'll love it. If you're a fan of DC, you'll love it. If you're a Marvel fan, please look at it for what it is and smile, because you'll like it. And I have a feeling that does this now, like I said, now is this a hot take itself to me? Will this change the way people see DC movies? I got to be honest with you now. And I just think people are going to have that mindset for a while. You know what I mean? And I don't know if one movie will heal it. I don't know if it's a row of movies, because as soon as if somebody brings this movie up, they're, what about Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman was too long, and people are going to do that. And I think that's not going to shake away from DC for a while, and it's going to be weird. People are going to be really petty. So the question is, how petty are people going to be with this movie? The other question is, will people see past their own prejudices of a fucking company that they don't work for? Are people going to look beyond their own, expectations when it comes to it? Because I know people see the name Zack Snyder and they lose their damn mind. Are people going to really give this movie a chance? That's the real big question. And I'm not talking about the casual fans, because the casual fans will be casual fans. I'm talking about the people who sit and blog, the people who sit and tweet, the people who sit and talk ad nauseum about all of this bullshit, and about how if I were fixing it, how they do just go armchair quarterback. If I was running the DCU, if I was running the Marvel Universe, if I was doing this, the right thing to do is this, the right thing to be doing is that. Well, people drop all of that, watch this movie, because this is one of the few times I could really say this about any of the movies, any comic book movies in a while that came out. This is one you can unplug. This is one you can enjoy, and I really think a lot of people will. Now, like I said before, Me and CJ are going to end up doing probably 2 more shows of this, not video wise, but I know we're going to do a podcast, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do another big one with our group of friends, and I hope we do. And yeah, that's about it. So go out this weekend, watch that fucking movie, y'all.